All right, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. This is your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, of course, New York Mets fanatic, and of course, Queens, New York native of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you are now rocking and tuning in, listening, streaming, and watching the 75th episode of the Sports Edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. We got a jam-packing episode to talk about here, and alongside with a little breaking news and a little, rumors in the air, stories that we need to talk about involving Pete Alonso and, of course, Jeff McNeil, Jose Quintana. And then we have some other breaking news involving the Allstar Break lineup, and Pete Alonso is involved in there too. Now, some people are saying that there's been some snubs between Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo. Now, everybody's talking about it. Even Ryan Finkelstein was talking about it on his show, Locked On Mets podcast. And for those of you who may not know, you can subscribe to his YouTube channel right there, alongside with others right there. And speaking of YouTube, man, we are live and direct alongside with Instagram live feed, and of course um powered by StreamYard, and alongside with YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, do me a favor, go ahead and grab that subscribe button on the sports YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, and of course turn on alerts. Be sure to leave a like and a comment along with the sports topics being discussed. Tell me how you feel about the topics and stuff. And of course, you can follow this show on Threads and Instagram, which is the same username. All right. So be sure to do everything. All right. Now I do apologize for the delay of recording this episode. I just found out that there's been a switch. I'm still this podcast is still on Spotify for podcasts. There's been a little switch actually involving Riverside FM. They took off the tools where you could add sound effects and everything else to it. So I'm still trying to figure out some things. I have to record two things involving YouTube, and of course involving Spotify for podcasters. So I'll have to do that in a couple minutes after this recording. So all right, so um and one more thing before I even begin, to the person that asked me if they should propose to um his girlfriend at Citifield, let me just say this though, man. And I said this in the last episode. It's not my decision to make. It's your decision to make. And if you love the person that much, by all means, go for it. Follow your heart, follow your instincts. Um, don't let anything or anyone stop you from proposing to your girlfriend, okay? And I'm just gonna leave it right there. All right, got some stuff to talk about here. Now that I got that out the way, let's get to a little bit of basketball news, shall we? Hold on, let me just find. Hold on. Yeah, let's get to the quick side bleacher bar real quick. Actually, you know what? Let's start off with the rumor alerts in the air involving Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, and along with and along with Jose Quintana. All right. We're gonna start there. And I hope y'all enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. I know I have 4-day weekend actually to be exact and stuff. So and yeah, it's been quite a journey with the Mets actually, man. And I'm glad they actually swept the Nationals. I'm actually glad they did that. I was watching it earlier today, and I gotta say, man, they really came this far from below 500 to being above 500, maybe 1 or 2 games whatsoever. So I want to make some noise for the New York Mets, man, for reaching over 500. All right, now we can get into the quick side bleach. No, rumor alerts in the air first, man. Let's get into it right here. Hold on. Let me find my thing. There we go. All right. For those of you that's new, if y'all don't know about this segment, this is where I actually talk about certain stories that's been put out there that's not really factual. That's not really factual information. This is just rumors to be debunked. I'm here to debunk those fucking rumors right now. Now, let's get into the rumors involving first, let's talk about the whole Pete Alonso shit with the Astros. Um that right there was a that right there threw me off when I saw the post on Instagram. I don't know if anybody out there saw this, but I am going to actually get into it right here, right now. So let's get into it. All right. All right. So, let me see. Where did I put that? Yes. So, this is according to fansided.com. Of course, there's been a rumor alert in the air involving Pete Alonso and the Astros, which is not confirmed. This is not confirmed, folks. Not confirmed. So, listen to this. The Houston Astros got off to a disastrous start to the 2024 season. They began the season 12-24, looking more like the Astros that played in the NL Central a decade ago than the AL West Astros that dominated the mid-late 2010s. But we played 162 games for a reason. The Astros have completely turned their season around despite being riddled with a plethora of injuries. They have more starting pitchers on the injured list than any Houston fan could have imagined, leaving them with a ton of holes on their roster. One of the holes is at first base, and there may not be a better potential trade option on the market than the New York Mets slugger Pete Alonso. With the Mets still in the postseason race, the idea of training for Pete Alonso isn't the most likely option. But if New York begins to fall back, they will look to trade him, and the Astros have already began checking in on his availability and asking price. You can't be fucking serious, man. You cannot be fucking serious about trading Pete Alonso, man. You cannot. I'm not. Yo, this is crazy. This is the craziest shit that I ever heard. Even idiots like Nightingale, and all these other people putting out all these ridiculous stories that's not even true and not even confirmed is beyond it's just beyond upsetting. But wait, folks, there's more. There's more. There's more. MLB insider Jim Bolden has reported that the Astros have engaged in talks with the Mets about Alonso. The extent of these talks is unknown at the moment, but the fact that the Mets are answering the call and engaging in the conversations is quite telling in and of itself. The asking price for Alonso would be massive, and for the Astros to lure him away with Fangraphs still gives New York a 39% chance to make the postseason. Houston would need to deal away a ton of prospect capital. Give me a fucking break, man. Like, yo, let me tell you something, man, let me tell you something that really grinds my gears about the whole trade rumor of Pete Alonso. We heard this shit time and time again. None of that shit's confirmed. Many times I watch Pete Alonso's interview and all that other stuff, right? He said he wants to continue to be here. He loves it here. It would be the most dreadful fucking thing that an organization would ever do to trade away Pete Alonso for a whack ass first baseman. Like, come on, man. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You have to think about this. You have to really think about this though, man. The man just hit 18 home runs, man. 18. What are you doing? What are you talking trade rumors for? And I get the whole fucking trade deadline shit, but it's like what, days away. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, man, that shit really grinds my gears, man. That's why I wanted to come on here to actually talk about this. And of course, in a couple of minutes, I will get into the breakdown of the All-Star break lineup that's going down for Tuesday of next week. All right. Okay, so a trade for Alonso would begin with a few top prospects that provide the Mets with the high ceiling that they are looking for if they are going to deal their slugger away. Another thing I want to add, another thing I want to add to this is like, where are you gonna find another power hitter? You're not gonna find. You can't replace a power hitter who hit 46 homers. 46. Where are you gonna find a power bat, man? And please don't say Juan Soto, man. And the fact that Sal Licata, out of all people, is always trying to hype up Juan Soto. What makes you think he wants to go all the way from the Bronx to Queens? I mean, think about this. Think about this shit, man, for a second, man. Like, for real, for real. Like, you have got to be shitting me. And all the Mets fans out there if they find out that Pete Alonso gets traded, they will be upset. I would be too. You know what I'm saying? I would be too. And honestly, it doesn't matter what the stupid stat says. Okay, it doesn't matter. And like I previously said, you're gonna have your good games, you're gonna have your bad games, you're gonna have your other games because there is no such thing as a perfect baseball player. This is a human being, man. You know, he's going through some stuff. Like, come on. Enough with the fucking expectations, man, and just have fun playing baseball. That's it. You know what I mean? I just had to get this shit off my chest, man. I had to. All right, let me keep going here, man. Let me keep going here. So Bryce Matthews and Zach Cole, two top 5 prospects in the Houston system, are exactly what the Mets would need to pull the trigger here. I don't know about that though, but I would have to actually put that as a question in the YouTube community tab. And some other stuff that I want to put there. Anyway, Matthews is slashing 284, 390, 399, 500 with 16 extra base hits this year, while Cole is slashing 246, 355, 458 across 2 levels of the minor leagues. There is so much upside in adding these 2 prospects that the Mets simply wouldn't be able to say no to a deal like this. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, but Ullola. Age 22 is one of the most electric pitchers in its entire Astro system, including the big league club. He's nearly unhittable when he's in and around the zone, but his troublesome command has haunted him again this year. He walked 47 batters in 76 innings this year, but has only allowed 43 hits. Acquiring Alonso for the postseason push would be what pushes the Astros over the edge. They aren't a team that is content with just making the postseason either. They want to win the World Series each and every season. With Kyle Tucker bound to return to the lineup this year and a trade market to add impactful players, the Astros season is far from over. Yeah, this is crazy right here. This is the craziest shit that I ever heard today, man. All right. Now we got another rumor alert in the air that we need to talk about here, involving Jeff McNeil. And this comes from the folks from Sports Illustrated. Will former batting champion Jeff McNeil be on the move by the trade deadline? The New York Mets second baseman has had a rough season with a .226 batting average and 14 RBIs in 212 at-bats this season. His power is also non-existent, hitting only 3 home home runs with an OPS of 609. The 32-year-old is just 2 years removed from winning the National League batting title with a 322 average in 2022. Those days seem long gone, and he hasn't. And he hasn't been close to that player in the last 2 seasons. In 2023, his stats were 10 home runs, 55 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, a batting average of 270, and an OPS of 711 in 585 bats. 585 at bats, excuse me. His OPS dropped by 125 when it was 836 in 2022. The lefty McNeil was benched against the Washington Nationals on June 3rd and sat for 4 straight games against left-handed pitchers. The Mets went 3-1 without him, and McNeil returned to the lineup in their 6-5 win against the Philadelphia Phillies in London. He went 2 for 4 in the game. He was benched again on June 11th against the Marlins, but got one pinch hit appearance. He struck out against the Marlins reliever Andrew Nardi in the 7th, and the Mets lost 4-2. McNeil returned to the lineup against the Marlins on June 12th and went 0 for 4 in the Mets 10-4 win. McNeil spoke with New York Post reporter Jared Schwartz about being benched on June 11th. He said, in quote, "It's something I'm not really used to," McNeil said, "but the team has been playing well this last week, working on some things, had a good game the other day, and be back at it tomorrow." McNeil was drafted by the Mets in 2013 and made his debut with them in 2018. He spent his entire 7-year career with them and has hit 59 home runs with 283 RBIs, 32 stolen bases, a 292 batting average, and an OPS of 784 and 2.634 at bats. But at this rate, the flying squirrel might be flying out of Queens by the trade deadline. Well, remains to be seen, man. And another rumor alert in the air involving Jose Quintana. And Yardbarker is the website. Yes, so let me see. What is this? Damn it. All right. As the New York Mets tried to get to the All-Star break on a positive note, they were able to begin the final homestand of the first half with a win. In Tuesday night's 7-5 win over the Washington Nationals, Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor excelled at the plate, but it was Jose Quintana who was excellent on the mound and stole the show. Very interesting. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. Like, what is with everybody in hold on a minute here. Hold up a second. This is crazy, man. And yeah. Oh boy, this is crazy, man. Anyway, this is the craziest thing that I ever heard, man. Mets Jose Quintana addresses trade deadline uncertainty. Quintana is among Mets players set to hit free agency this coming fall and could be made available to other teams regardless of New York's record because the club has a surplus of options for its rotation. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Should the Mets be worried about their number 2 pitcher after yet another poor performance? Well, he did turn it around. Though. Yeah, he did turn it around after the yeah, that was in May, man. I did watch those games actually. That was in May actually. But here's the kicker about that. Let's talk about how he turned things around. So, you know what I mean? Wait a second, man. Wait a second here. Mets started boosting trade stock with recent impressive stretch. Damn. So the New York Mets will likely be minimum buyers at the trade deadline, but could still sell off some veterans on expiring deals. One name that could be sent out is lefty starter Jose Quintana, who has been boosting his trade stock with a 2.92 ERA across his last 7 starts. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So let me see. On the season, the Southpaw has lowered his ERA to 4.22 in 89.2 innings. On Thursday, Quintana hurled 7 scoreless innings against the Washington Nationals in the Mets' 4th of July 1-zip loss. Quintana has been particularly hot in his last 4 starts, allowing just 3 earned runs in 23.1 innings, which is 1.16 ERA, while punching out 22 hitters. Quintana signed with the Mets as a free agent before the 2023 season for 2 years, $26 million. He is now in his final year of his deal and is making $13 million this season. With the Mets having a surplus of starting pitching, Quintana could be brought up at the trade deadline. Before I continue this shit though, man, everybody keeps asking why is Jeff McNeil still playing at second base or whatever? Because he's under contract. He's under contract, man. Look, he's not only playing second base, he can also play the outfield too. We see him play left field, we see him play right field, whatsoever. So that's why you see him. That's why you see him compared to Jose Iglesias, who's been helping out the team as well. So, and you know what I'm saying. So, anyway, let me just continue here. Let's see. Yes, he is now in his final year of his deal and is making $13 million this season. With wow, $13 million, man. That's wow, wow, wow. All right. With the Mets having a surplus of starting pitching, Quintana could be brought up at the trade deadline. Um, Mets ace Kodai Senga took a big step on Wednesday, racking up 6 strikeouts in 2.2 innings for the High A Brooklyn Cyclones in his first rehab start. So that was a little transition to Kodai Senga. I am going to talk more about him in a couple minutes. Yes, Senga could take Quintana's spot in the starting rotation within the next few weeks, which would allow the Mets to seek bullpen help, or prospects for the veteran lefty. Quintana, age 35, doesn't rely on velocity with his fastball, fastball topping out around 90 miles per hour. The 13-year veteran mainly relies on his sinker and throws it 32% of the time. He uses his curveball, slurve. Slurve. I can never get that word out of my mind, man, and what that is. I'll look it up later. And change up to keep hitters off balance. Quintana is no stranger to being traded, as he was dealt across town from the White Sox to the Chicago Cubs in 2017, and from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the St. Louis Cardinals in 2022. If Quintana keeps pitching well, it is possible that the Mets could deal him later this month. All right. Let's see. Let me see. Now, hold on. I want to get. Now, hold on a second here. Yeah, on base percentage. Yes. All right, we're gonna go to the quick side bleacher bar right now, man. And I want to get this out the way. For those of you who may not know what OBP stands for, it stands for on base percentage. Yes, so this is a baseball statistic that measures how often a batter reaches base per plate appearance. It's been an official Major League Baseball statistic since 1984. Wow. All right, let's get into the quick side bleacher ball, man. We got some stuff to talk about here, including the big three that I want to talk about right here. Before I go into some more baseball news regarding the New York Mets, I'd like to get this out the way as well regarding the big three. Hang on a second, man. Let me look for it. Let me look for it. Look for it. Um Hang on a second. Hold on. I know I had that story. Hang on. Hang on. Here it is. Okay. This is from a website called Afrotech. All right, let's get into the big three things. So this is the organization that Ice Cube formed. Ice Cube's big three is rapidly expanding. As Afrotech previously reported, the 3-on-3 basketball league recently said teams in Los Angeles, California, Houston, Texas, and Miami, Florida in deals reportedly worth $10 million each as they seek to venture away from a touring league to a city-based model, which will go into effect for 2025 season. Interesting. End quote. We need to plant our roots in cities so we can be more than a rolling all-star game coming through. Big Three CEO and co-founder Ice Cube told Bloomberg at the time. It's really about growing the sport and the league. In recent news, Detroit, Michigan has been announced as the next city to house a Big Three franchise thanks to the interest of ownership group Game Above Sports, which includes founder and chairman Keith J. Stone and Detroit pro sports figures George Gervin and TJ Lang. M Live reports. Former NBA point guard Earl Boykins is working closely with Game Above Sports as well. The entire team at Game Above and I are thrilled to bring a Big Three franchise to the Motor City, Gervin said. According to the outlet, my experience as part of the Big Three these past few seasons has shown me that that the league is at the forefront of 3-on-3 basketballs, increasing growth and global traction. Detroit's history, rich sports history makes it a fantastic market for the Big Three. Get ready for next summer. Ice Cube included in quote, I am excited to finally announce the sale of our Detroit team to this amazing group of investors, entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. Game Above Sports and its leadership represents the values of the Big Three every day and have an exemplary community outreach infrastructure that will take the Young Three initiative to a new level. It's been a privilege to work with George Gervin over the past few Big Three seasons, and I know what he means to the Detroit and Southeast Michigan community. I look forward to working together with Game Above Sports to bring the vision of Big Three Detroit to life next season. Looking ahead, Big Three plans for its footprint to reach locations including London, England, and Toronto, Canada by 2025 per Bloomberg. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Let's make some noise, man. Yeah, let's make some noise for Ice Cube, man. Doing big things with the Big Three. Now, for those of you that's listening and wondering what is the noise going on in the background, it's my air conditioner. I put it on low fan for the time being since I'm recording, and it's been a heat wave and it's been hot lately, so that's why I have it on to keep myself from sweating and keeping my upper body from being too hot. So that's why I have it on. Just a clarification for you folks out there that's listening. All right, man. Moving on to some breaking news that we need to talk about here involving the All-Star break. I'm not kidding, man. I'm not kidding. And Pete Alonso is also in the home run derby, actually. As a matter of fact, yeah, he's in the home run derby. Yeah, he's in the home run derby as well, man. Now for people who say that there's been some snubs, I'll get to that as well, man. But first, let's get to some breaking news right here, man. And then I'll do the update of Drew Gilbert, Jett Williams, and Kodai Senga, actually. So we're gonna get into that right here. Now, according to the Bleacher Report, man, check this out. The All-Star rosters are set. Following this week's announcement of the starting rosters as voted on by the fans, the reserves and pitching staffs were announced on Sunday. Those spots were comprised using both the players' ballot and selections from the commissioner's office. As Jorge Castillo of ESPN noted, there were 32 players named to their first All-Star team. Below will break down the full rosters and go over a few of the players who were snubbed for this year's edition of the Midsummer Classic. I'm not sure what that is, but anyway. So starting with the AL reserves and pitching staff. So we have first baseman Josh Naylor, Cleveland Guardians. Second baseman Marcus Semien, Texas Rangers. Rafael Devers, Boston Red Sox. Isaac Paredes, Tampa Bay Rays. Shortstop Carlos Correa, Minnesota Twins. Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals. Salvador Perez, Kansas City Royals. Outfielder Kyle Tucker, Houston Astros. Jarren Duran, Boston Red Sox. Riley Green, Detroit Tigers. David Fry. David Fry. Oh, shit. Not to be related to Philip J. Fry from Futurama, folks. Oh, shit. Yeah, David Fry, Cleveland Guardians is in there. Wait a minute here. SP. What's SP? Oh, shortstop. Shortstop. There you go. Shortstop. Garrett Crochet, Chicago White Sox. Tariq Skubal, Detroit Tigers. Tanner Hoke, Boston Red Sox. Seth Lugo, Kansas City Royals. Cole Reagans, Kansas City Royals. Logan Gilbert, Seattle Mariners. Corbin Burns, Baltimore Orioles. Tyler Anderson, Los Angeles Angels. Wait a minute. Yeah, right here in the pictures. Wait. Oh, pitching staffs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, pitching staffs. AL reserves and pitching staff. Okay. So, Mason Miller, Oakland Athletics. Kirby Yates, Texas Rangers. Clay Holmes, New York Yankees. Emmanuel Claus, Cleveland Guardians. National League reserves and pitching staffs. We have Pete Alonso, New York Mets first baseman. He's in the All-Star break. Congratulations to him and to being on the Home Run Derby. Freddie Freeman, Los Angeles Dodgers second baseman. Luis Arias, San Diego Padres. Third baseman Ryan McMahon, excuse me. Colorado Rockies, which is the next team the Mets are going to be playing at Citi Fields tomorrow on SNY. I'm not going to be here for the second game, but I will be here for the last game as well on Sunday. So, anyway, shortstop Mookie Betts, Los Angeles Dodgers. Ellie De La Cruz, Cincinnati Reds. CJ Abrams, Washington Nationals. Catcher Will Smith, not the actor, folks. I know what you're thinking, man. I know what you're thinking, man. Not the actor, man. He's a baseball player. So anyway, Will Smith, Los Angeles Dodgers. Outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, Los Angeles Dodgers. Jackson Merrill, San Diego Padres. Heliot Ramos, San Francisco Giants. Brian Reynolds, Pittsburgh Pirates. Designated hitter Marcell Ozuna, Atlanta Braves. What is it? Wait, shortstop. Starting pitcher? Or is it shortstop? No, starting pitcher. Right. Okay. That's what SP. Okay, starting pitchers. Rangers Suarez, Philadelphia Phillies, Tyler Glasnow, Los Angeles Dodgers, Shota Imanaga, Chicago Cubs, Ronaldo Lopez, Atlanta Braves, Logan Webb, San Francisco Giants, Paul Skenes, Pittsburgh Pirates, Chris Sale, Atlanta Braves, Zach Wheeler, Philadelphia Phillies. Now, for those of you who may not know what SP stands for, it stands for starting pitcher. So that's what it stands for. I misread that. So I do apologize for that one right there. Yeah, SP, yeah. Starting pitcher. Okay. All right, so let's see. What else? All right, Ryan Helsley, St. Louis Cardinals, Tanner Scott, Miami Marlins, Robert Suarez, San Diego Padres, Matt Strom, Philadelphia Phillies, Jeff Hoffman, Philadelphia Phillies. Now everybody's been talking about the snubs between Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo. That's been putting in the work. So that's crazy right there. Anyway, man, and I'm gonna get to that. Don't worry. In the American League, the AL East, leading Orioles probably have a few gripes. So this is one of the snubs. Anthony Santander was probably the most surprising omission on either roster Sunday. He's hitting 233. Yeah, 233 with 22 homers, 56 RBI, 46 runs, and a 794 OPS this season. Craig Kimbrough is his second in the American League with 22 saves, trailing only Claus 26. He also made a strong case to be included by either the commissioner's office or players' vote, though it's possible he was squeezed out by the requirement that every team in baseball have at least one selection. This is crazy. And Ryan Ricken also says on X, I wanted all-star spot for guys like Santander, Westy, Mountie, etc. But that's how it goes. Devers and Naylor rightfully deserve spots at third base and first base. Crowded outfielder room of great players too. The one to me that should have been in on eye test and numbers was Craig Kimbrough. Yeah. Finally, Oakland's Brent Rooker, 277 with 18 homers, 54 RBIs, 34 runs, and a 891 OPS, was a deserving potential reserve, but didn't make the cut this season. Over in the National League, the Phillies can't really complain. After having three starters, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Alec Bohm, and four pitchers named to the All-Star game, but both Aaron Nola, 10-4 with a 3.48 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, and 107 strikeouts, and Christopher Sanchez, 6-4 with a 2.96 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, and 82 strikeouts, have put together all-star seasons this year. There was always going to be a roster crunch. However, with plenty of Phillies represented, Nola and Sanchez didn't make the cut. At second base, most advanced stats would suggest that Bryce Terang should have been the selection over Arias. Granted, Arias lead the National League with 118 hits. You be the judge. Arias 315 with 2 homers, 23 RBI, 50 runs, 3 stolen bases, and a 732 OPS and a 0.8 WAR. Terang 288 with 6 homers, 38 RBIs, 43 runs, 28 stolen bases, a 757 OPS, and 3.9 WAR. It's a close call, but Terang is having the better season by most measures. All right. Let me see. All right, let's get to the snubs. Okay, let's get to the snubs between Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor. Let's see. Have Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo get snubbed out of the All-Star break. Let's see. So hold on a second, man. Hold on a second here. Hold on. So, according to Sports Illustrated, Brandon Nimmo spoke out about not being named an NL All-Star despite having worthy statistics. Let's see. So the New York Mets outfielder Brandon Nimmo has a reputation for being a humble, soft-spoken person who lets his performances on the field do the talking for him. That's right. But even he admitted surprise about getting snubbed from the 2024 MLB All-Star team. And he says, in quote, "I thought I had a pretty dang good shot, so I was pretty surprised when I wasn't on there," Nimmo said about his All-Star omission after Tuesday's 7-5 win over the Washington Nationals, per SNY. "Just statistically speaking, I'm usually pretty truthful with myself. Like you said, in a lot of the categories that matter, I'm up there in NL outfielders." So yeah, definitely was surprised when that didn't happen. Let's see. Yeah. So Nimmo's 826 OPS is currently ranked fourth among NL outfielders. He's also third in home runs, 15, fourth in RBIs, 58, and leads all NL outfielders in runs scored with 57. All these stats show why Nimmo, who has homered in back-to-back games, 3 games, wow, was worthy of an all-star roster spot. One player who values Nimmo's success this season is Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor, who was also an all-star snub this year. He and Nimmo typically comprise the top 2 spots in New York's lineup, which has resulted in great success as of late. Lindor also addressed how important Nimmo's presence behind him has been. I know everybody's upset about this, but I know everybody's upset about this and all that other stuff. But I'm not gonna say I'm surprised about this though, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm surprised about this, but you know what I mean. Um, but these two guys did put in the work and stuff, you know. And it's funny because um the way this works when it comes to the All-Star break, you have to vote on which player that deserves to be in the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much why Pete Alonso got selected to be in not only the All-Star break but also um, the Home Run Derby this year. So congratulations to him. Um, and I'm gonna do a little quick reminder in regards to the Home Run Derby and the All-Star break before I wrap up the podcast recording right here. So um without further ado, let me just I know everybody's upset about the snub and shit, so here goes nothing. All right, so here is a quote of what Francisco Lindor had to say about the snub thing. I actually watched this yesterday after the game, actually, after they won the second game with the Nationals in Citi Field. So here what he has to say here, in quote. He's been doing fantastic, Lindor said of Nimmo on Tuesday. The way he's gone about his at-bats, the way he's preparing and putting a lot of pressure on the pitchers. It seems like every pitcher when Nimmo comes up to the plate is in a high leverage situation, and that's really good. Lindor and Nimmo will surely have chips on their respective shoulders after not receiving All-Star game invites, considering how good they already are. That presents a downright scary scenario for opposing pitchers. Look, man, I don't listen. I know a lot. I know some of the Mets fanatics are upset about this and all that other stuff. But I'm pretty sure that they're not really sweating that shit that much. They're not sweating that shit that much though, man. So I don't. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I'm glad that they actually swept the Nationals, man. That's really big, man. That's really big right there. I'm glad they swept that shit though. Um, I'm glad they swept that shit though, man. Um, Let me see. What else do I need to talk about here? What else do I need to talk about here? Oh, wait. Carlos Mendoza, yeah. Yeah, Carlos Mendoza. Yeah. Wait a minute, man. I know everybody's been questioning Carlos Mendoza's decisions and stuff, but I think it has to do with the analytics and the people above him. I mean, it's not really I don't think it's I don't think it's the decision. I don't think it's his decision, but it is what it is. I'm not too certain about all this, but anyway, let me go to let me go to damn. Wait just a sec. This is about Willie Randolph. I forgot about that shit too. Um I forgot about Willie Randolph. Yeah, I forgot about that shit too. Um I forgot about that. Let's see. Yeah, while back he did get hired, and of course, obviously, I forgot all about that shit too. So, of course, for those you may have heard, of course, obviously, Carlos Mendoza was officially hired Monday as manager of the Mets with a 3-year contract and the task of leading a turnaround from 2023's huge failure. The 43-year-old will be introduced at Citi Field, which already happened. Um, it's a little recap. His deal includes a team option for 2027. Mets owner Steve Cohen and his wife Alex were the first people quoted in the team's announcement. Carlos brings a wealth of experience to the Mets that includes more than a decade managing and coaching in the minors, as well as serving as bench coach the last 4 years with our crosstown rivals. They said in a statement, Carlos is full of energy, passion, and it was easy to see he'll have a great rapport with both our veteran and young players. Yeah, I gotta say he's way better. He's way better than Craig Counsell, to be honest. Mendoza spent the past 4 seasons across the town as Aaron Boone's bench coach with the Yankees. He replaces Buck Showalter, fired by the Mets on the final day of the season after 2 years as manager. I want to I want Mets fans to know that I will pour every ounce of energy into this job, and we share a common goal of bringing a championship to Queens, Mendoza said in a statement. Mendoza became the Major League's second Venezuelan-born manager at the Ozzie Guillen, who led the White Sox from 2004 to 11 and the Marlins in 2012. Mendoza was Venezuela's bench coach during this year's World Baseball Classic. His hiring was the Mets' first major move under President of Baseball Operations, David Stearns, hired last month. Um, I will talk about the interview that he did when acquiring Phil Maton in a future episode. I'm not going to be able to have time to get to that. So, Carlos has a brilliant baseball mind and a finely honed ability to collaborate with others. Stearns said in a statement, he comes with a fantastic reputation as a trusted leader and someone who has been beloved in every stop of his career. Carlos knows what it takes to lead, especially here in New York, and I am looking forward to partnering with him to bring sustained success to this franchise. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? On Tuesday, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza, by the way, um, which this was a while back actually. So this is another recap topic that I'm going to be doing. So manager Carlos Mendoza had his first news conference of his first spring training running the show. He was asked about the competition for roster spots, which will mostly be at third base, designated hitter, and the last few spots in the bullpen. He didn't offer much beyond some generalizations about everyone getting a chance. He was asked about the pressure of New York, which he is familiar with from his time with the Yankees. His answer there wasn't much different from the one he gave during his introductory news conference at the beginning of the off season. But when asked if the 2024 Mets are a serious playoff contender, a question President of Baseball Operations David Stearns answered in the affirmative on Monday. Mendoza gave an elaborate answer. The crux of it, of course, was yes. We got a lot of talent in this room, Mendoza told reporters. We are excited about the players that we got, not only the established players that have been here and had a lot of success, but the younger players as well. We got a lot of depth. Look, it's New York, and anytime you are in the arena and you are competing, you want to win, understanding that we got work to do, but that's our goal. Those are our expectations. We really feel good about our group, our team. There's a lot of talent and they are hungry. Following a 2023 season that the Mets entered as one of the top World Series favorites, only to wave that white flag at the trade deadline, restocking a now rising farm system in the process, the expectations for this season are lower. However, lower expectations than top World Series contender does not mean the 2024 Mets won't make noise. Some projection systems have them as a potential team, which is really not surprising. The roster is solid. It has stars above um, average regulars, many of whom were there when the Mets won 101 games in 2022, and also has elite young talent close to contributing. The 40-man roster has also been seriously bolstered by Stearns, who made lots of minor moves this offseason in addition to the ones he swung for established players. And in the depth is what Mendoza focused on when asked to discuss the Mets' biggest strengths. I would say the depth. I feel like David and the front office did a really good job of bringing a lot of different pieces to the roster. Mendoza explained, we really feel good about our depth, whether it's from the position player or from the pitching side. The weakness, that's a good one. I really feel good about it. I feel good about the talent we got in that room. We got some established players and we got some young players that are knocking at the door. We're excited to watch them play and perform. While Mendoza didn't list a weakness, it's fair to say that um, third base and designated hitter could possibly be trouble spots, and the right field will be a question mark until Starling Marte proves his health during MLB action, and he's been out with a knee issue, so I'm not too sure when he'll be back. So who knows? Anyway, man. So just to recap everything, man. Just to recap everything. So however, Mendoza is right about the depth Stearns added. The starting rotation won't wow anyone, but it is led by Kodai Senga, which I'll get to in a couple minutes, and has a serious bounce back candidate with high upside with Luis Severino, who won. He got his 6 to 7 wins. Congratulations to him. There is also serious depth behind the expected 5 regular starters, including Tyler McGill, David Peterson, who also won today's game as well. Jose Buto got his first save. Congrats to him. Joey Lucchesi, it's very surprising that he got DFA'd. Not sure why, but I'll talk about that in a future episode. Mike Vassell and Christian Scott. Um, Christian Scott's going to be starting one of the games with the Rockies on Saturday coming up. So we'll see what's going on with him. The bullpen will have Edwin Diaz back and should be fine and could be better than that if even one of Stearns' high upside plays Jorge Lopez or Shintaro Fujinami. Fujinami's been injured, so he hasn't been seen in action during any rehab games. So I'm not. So we'll have to see. Then there's the lineup, which will feature Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Brennan Nimmo, who switched from third to second after Lindor. So yeah, Jeff McNeil and Francisco Alvarez. Regarding the young talent that is close to ready, it includes Drew Gilbert. I'll talk about him next. Luis Angel Acuna and Scott, who could all possibility debut during the first half of the season. Yes, the 2024 Mets don't have the star power that came with a top two in the rotation of Max Scherzer, who's now on the Texas Rangers and out until the summer, which already happened already, and Justin Verlander now on the Houston Astros with a neck issue. What the 2024 Mets do have, though, is a solid roster with upside and a manager and president of baseball operations who are not hesitant to talk about the expectation of being a legitimate contender. Now, the whole thing with Willie Randolph being his partner, that's not gonna happen, man. That's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? And of course, Cooper Hamill got traded to the San Francisco Giants, actually. Um, so let's see. And let me touch on Steve Gelbs for a sec, man. As far as like what he was talking about between it was between Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos. He was talking about how there can't be two third basemen on the roster because it doesn't make any sense. By the way, Brett Beatty has been sent down to has been sent down to the minors, actually. You know what I'm saying? And I have to say, despite Marv Vientos having his ups and downs of being sent down and brought back up and being sent down, brought back up again, he's been helping out the Mets team so far, man. And the fact that he's showing confidence at third base, making all the plays that I seen in previous games and today's game as an everyday third baseman, he really deserves that third baseman spot, man. So so I say the Mets keep Mark Vientos at third base, man. You know what I'm saying? And he can also play first base too if Pete Alonso is going to be at the All-Star break. He could play third. He could play first base. We've seen him play first base before. So that's not going to be an issue. So that's not going to be an issue. So yeah, that's not going to be an issue though, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. So a little bit of what Steve Gelbs was talking about, and a little bit of Mark Vientos. I just talked about that. I gotta talk about the Edwin Diaz shit, man, that went down, man. But first, let's get into the Drew Gilbert update. Let's get into the Drew Gilbert update though, man. Hold on a second. Hold on. And yes, speaking of Luis Severino, he was a little disappointed that he didn't get a chance to participate in the Subway Series. So hopefully when the Mets go to the Bronx, he'll probably be there though, you know what I mean? But let me see. Let me see. Hold on a minute here. Come on. Okay. All right. For those of you who may not know what happened with Drew Gilbert, Mets outfield prospect Drew Gilbert, who has been out since April 6th due to a right hamstring strain, is back in game action. Gilbert is beginning a rehab assignment on Thursday for the Florida Complex Mets, playing center field and batting second. Before landing on the IL, Gilbert was off to a solid start in his first taste of AAA with 6 hits and 25 at-bats to go along with 1 homer. He played in only 7 games before suffering an injury. It had been expected before the season that the 23-year-old, who is SNY's number 3 prospect in the Mets system, would make his big league debut at some point in 2024. The Mets are currently set at 2 outfield spots with Brennan Nimmo performing at an all-star level and Harrison Bader having a terrific season. The other spot is fluid, with Starling Marte out due to an injury that is expected to keep him sidelined until some point in August. DJ Stewart and Tyrone Taylor have been getting regular playing time in Marte's absence. Across 2 minor league levels last season for the Houston Astros and Mets, Gilbert slashed 289, 381, 487 over 116 games and 18 homers, 26 doubles, 12 stolen bases, 79 runs scored, and 59 RBIs. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that he's back. I'm glad to hear that he's back though. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to hear that he's back though. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that he's back though, you know what I'm saying? So that's just pretty good. Let's see. Jett Williams, man. Let's get to Jett Williams, and then I'll get to Edwin Diaz's ejection and all that other stuff. So let's get to that right there, man. Let's see. All right, another prospect that's also injured and stuff. Okay. So another Mets prospect, Jett Williams, underwent right wrist surgery Thursday and will be sidelined until at least August as he recovers, the team announced. Williams, who began experiencing wrist discomfort in April, received a pair of cortisone injections in the area in hopes that conservative treatment would allow him to avoid surgery, but his pain never completely dissipated, prompting Williams to undergo a wrist TFCC debridement procedure. A typical return to the game activity following such an operation is 8 to 10 weeks, according to the Mets, which would take Williams into early or mid August if his recovery lasts much longer than that. Williams could risk missing the rest of the season, just like Ryan Mauricio missing out on the season with the knee injury. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's pretty crazy, though, man. You know what I'm saying? The knee injury. I know injuries about to happen and stuff, but it everybody has their ups and downs, especially going through a slump and injuries and stuff. So anyway, let's continue. If his recovery lasts much longer than that, Williams could risk missing the rest of the season. So let's see. Come on. MLB Pipeline's top overall Mets prospect and the 33rd ranked prospect in baseball, Williams was batting 179, 360, 360, 308 in 11 games for AA Binghamton. Prior to his injury, he was one of the most productive players in the minor leagues last season. However, slashing 263, 425, 451 over three levels as a 19-year-old. He's like what in his 20s right now. He's like in his 20s right now. A shortstop and center fielder, Williams profiles as a potential top of the order hitter with elite speed and plate discipline. Yeah, and wait a minute. He put in here actually on June 7th. Thank you for family, friends, and fans for everything. Dr. Sheridan did a great job expecting to be ready to go here soon. God has a plan, and we will be have soon. Um, Proverbs 3:5-6, provided by Jett Williams, 04. Yeah, he's a positive guy, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a positive guy. And every Mets fan is actually looking forward to seeing him play in the future. So if not this year, then probably in 2025. It has been a difficult season so far for Mets prospects. Two other players who began this year on the Mets top 30 list, pitchers Calvin Ziegler and Nate Lavender, have undergone season-ending elbow surgeries. In addition to the club's second-ranked prospect Drew Gilbert, which I just talked about, has missed nearly the entire season the entire season to date while recovering from a right hamstring strain. He's due back in late June. That passed already. Sixth ranked prospect Ryan Mauricio is also expected to miss most or all of the year while recovering from right knee surgery. All right. Let's see. Okay, let me. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. Wait. Let's get to. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. So, for those who probably may not understand why Luis Severino didn't pitch in the Subway Series actually. I'm in the Subway Series actually. So and this is according to what Carlos Mendoza was saying. It's matchup based. Manager Carlos Mendoza said Friday morning at Wrigley Field. We felt like it was better to have him throwing to righties against this lineup and then have the two lefties against the Yankees. Yeah. Left-hander Sharma 9 will get the start in the second game of the Subway Series, which I seen that already, and they got the sweep. It's a disappointing move for the fans in the city and even for Severino too. But every game is becoming increasingly important for the Mets as they continue to play their way back into the wild card contention, which they have already. So I just wanted to get into it. I just want to get into it real quick, and hopefully the next Subway Series, Luis Severino will actually be a part of the Subway Series in the Bronx, which I believe the next Subway Series. Hold on a second here. I believe the next Subway Series. Let me take a look at this real quick. Let me take a look at something real quick. I believe. Hang on a minute here, folks. Let me see, real quick. Hold on a minute. I believe the next Subway Series. The next Subway Series is between July 23rd and the 24th. So July 23rd is a Tuesday. July 24th is a Wednesday. So that's like in 2 weeks. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good to know. Hang on 1 second here. Hang on a minute here. What did I do? All right. I had to get y'all up to date on the next Subway Series. July 23rd and then 24th. That's a Tuesday. That's a Tuesday. That's the 23rd. The 24th is a Wednesday. So there you have it. All right. Let's see what else to talk about. Oh yes. Kodai Senga. Kodai Senga, man. Let's get to Kodai Senga. Let's get to Kodai Senga real quick. Yeah, Kodai Senga reached his pitch count limit before he could complete the third inning Tuesday, but kept the opposition scoreless for a second straight second straight start to begin his minor league. To begin his minor league rehab. In his first outing for AAA Syracuse, the right-hander pitched 2 2/3 shutout innings, allowing 2 hits with 2 walks and striking out 3 against Scranton Wilkes Barre. Senga was removed at 52 pitches. He was scheduled to pitch. No, excuse me. He was scheduled to Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Yeah, he was scheduled to throw 50. Yeah. Senga also had a scoreless outing last week for High A Brooklyn, for which he threw 35 pitches over 2 2/3 innings in his minor league rehab debut. Before the Mets 7-5 win over the Nationals at Citi Field, President of Baseball Operations David Stern said the Mets don't have a set number of rehab starts scheduled for Senga, but simply the pitcher is projected to return at some point after the All-Star break. Manager Carlos Mendoza recently suggested that Senga could be ready to rejoin the Mets once he reached 75 to 80 pitches in a rehab start. Senga has been working back from a shoulder strain that was diagnosed early in spring training. Stern said he is hopeful Joey Lucchesi will clear waivers and remain with the organization. Like I said briefly, Joey Lucchesi had been DFA'd. Not sure where exactly, but we'll see what I'm gonna talk about that in a future episode. So don't worry about that. The left-hander was designated for assignment to clear roster space for reliever Phil Maton, who I will actually talk about next. But I'll have to talk about the Edwin Diaz part before that, who was acquired in a trade with the Rays for a player to be named later or cash considerations. Lucchesi pitched to a 4.20 ERA in 15 starts this season for Syracuse. He started once for the Mets and allowed 5 earned runs over 4 2/3 innings. Last season, he pitched to a 2.89 ERA in 9 appearances for the Mets. Joey has pitched well at times for this organization, specifically last year, Stern said. Certainly our hopes is we will be able to retain him, but we'll see what happens. It's unlikely Ryan Mauricio will play for the Mets this season, according to Stearns. The infielder, for those of you who may not know, underwent surgery last winter for a torn anterior cruciate ligament, which is the knee, at which time it was indicated September would be the earliest return for Mauricio. But Stern's expectation is Mauricio won't be back until next season, which is 2025. The Mets held a moment of silence and played a tribute video in remembrance of team photographer Mark Levine, who died last week. Levine spent 35 years in his position and photographed more than 2,000 Mets players during that stretch, according to the team. SIP to Mark Levine. Man, that's crazy though. That's really crazy. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about the Edwin Diaz suspension. Let's talk about that, man. I know everybody was frustrated about it. The only thing that drives me crazy is the phrase foreign substance. First of all, I'm going to talk about that in a sec. So, New York Mets closer Edwin Diaz had faced a 10-game suspension after he was ejected from Sunday night's 5-2 win over the Chicago Cubs for having an illegal substance on his pitching hand. Diaz, age 30, was thrown out by crew chief Vic Carapazza and before he took the mound in the bottom of the ninth inning. And I did I did listen to CP's discussion in regards to the stupid umpire who basically um threw out Edwin Diaz. um yeah, it's crazy though, right? Yeah. Um okay. Yeah, Vic Carapazza, yeah, that's his name actually. Yeah. I touched his hand, Carapazza said in a poll report after the game. Grabbed his hand. The substance was extremely sticky, discolored. It definitely wasn't rosin and sweat. We checked thousands of these. I know what that feeling is. This was very sticky. Diaz claimed he uses only rosin and sweat and dirt on his hands. I use the same thing always, he said. I rub rosin, sweat, and I put my hand in the dirt a little bit so I can have some grip on the ball. I was really surprised because I didn't have anything on my hand, glove or belt. They always check everything. Carapazza confirmed there were no sticky substances on Diaz other than on his hand, but that's enough to get a player ejected. In recent years, Major League Baseball has cracked down on pitchers using foreign substances. What the hell? What the hell is fucking foreign substances? What is fucking foreign about somebody using sweat, rosin, and dirt? There's nothing foreign about this shit. First of all, let me tell you something. Whenever I hear the word foreign, you must be talking about the damn fucking country. You know what I'm saying? This umpires umpires are up to no good, man. Let me tell umpires are up to no good, man. And sometimes they're the reason why the Mets lose games. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of whether the Mets played a bad game or not. It doesn't matter. They play a role in that shit too. So I digress on that shit too. Anyway, that shit's crazy though, man. Um, yeah, that's crazy though, man. Foreign substances other than rosin because they allow for pitchers for better grips and more spin on the ball. Carapazza added that the Mets really didn't argue the ejection or explain what happened. I told them I have a job to do, Carapazza said. We're supposed to check it, and that was too sticky. Yeah, I always wonder what is the umpire's idea of too sticky. I really don't understand this shit too. I can't ignore the substance that was on there. Diaz now faces an automatic 10-game suspension for use of an illegal substance. He can appeal, but said he isn't sure if he will. The fact that he missed the Subway Series at Citi Field was pretty tough, man. Um, it's tough to let my teammates down for 10 games, Diaz said. That sucks. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza lamented the loss of Diaz. By rule, the Mets have to play short a man for the length of the suspension. We have to move on, Mendoza said. Guys are going to have to step up. Drew Smith, who's also injured as well, and Jake Diekman did that Sunday night, combining to pitch a scoreless ninth inning after Diaz was tossed as the Mets won for the ninth time in 11 games. Diaz has struggled this season with just 7 saves and a 4.70 ERA. He missed all of last season with a knee injury suffered while celebrating a Puerto Rico win in the World Baseball Classic and spent about 2 weeks on the injured list this season with a shoulder issue before being reinstated June 13th. All I can say is about the the whole thing with the World Baseball Classic and stuff is, look, I feel like the people like Steve Cohen, the the Mets staff, the coaches, the managers, they need to value their players, man. They need to value their players, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not let them go to the World Baseball Classic, man. Because we cannot afford another injury to a New York Mets player. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that one right there. That's pretty much what I have to say on that one right there. So I digress on that. Anyway, let me see where I left off here. Yeah, Diaz has struggled this season with just 7 saves. Yeah, and a 4.70 ERA. He missed. Yeah, I already read that one right there. I read that one. So that's pretty interesting right there, man. Yeah, and he that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? That's really crazy though, man. But I'll say this though. Man. I think it. First of all, the rosin, the sweat, the dirt. It look. First of all, I actually took the liberty to actually look this up. Actually, you see, rosin is the only thing that's legal. Um, the only thing that's not legal is the what is it? Um, it's the other substances, including pine tar, which is used for bats, by the way. The spider cap, whatever that shit is called, actually, and other stuff. That's, to me, is just, to me. I get it, but I think these umpires went about it the wrong way. They went about this shit the wrong way, though, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy, though, man. That's just crazy, though. Let me see. Oh, speaking about signings. Speaking of signings, let me take a look at something real quick. Actually, let's see. Yeah, Stanik wasn't gonna get signed to the Mets, so he got signed to a different team. So that's just a little bit of everything. Um, yeah, let me just get to. Yes, they signed Phil Maton. Let's get to him. And this is from Sports Illustrated. So the Tampa Bay Rays have traded right-handed relief pitcher Phil Maton to the New York Mets. The teams announced Tuesday evening. The Mets agreed to send either a player to be named later or cash considerations back to the Rays to make room on their roster for Maton. New York designated left-handed pitcher Joey Lucchesi for assignment. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, was able to recall right-hander pitcher Manuel Rodriguez from AAA Durham. Maton inked a 1-year, $6.25 million contract with the Rays in February, giving him the fifth largest salary on the team for 2024. Tampa Bay also had a $7.75 million club option on Maton's deal for 2025 that included a $250K buyout. Even before they shipped Maton and his contract off to Queens, though, the Mets were unlikely to pick that option up. Maton was 1-2 with a 4.58 ERA, 1.330 WHIP, 7.6 strikeouts per 9 innings, and a 0.2 WAR through 40 appearances this season. End quote. Not the way we envisioned it. Both the teams' record at this point and Phil's contributions. Rays president of baseball operations Eric Neander said to reporters after the trade was finalized. Certainly, he's been throwing the ball better lately, but look, when it came down to it, it's a situation where we have Manny Rodriguez, who's coming the way he's been throwing the ball, wanted to create an opportunity, a more sustained opportunity for him with the major league club, and this was the path we chose to do it. Between the 2022 and 2023 campaigns, Maton went 4-5 with a 3.42 ERA, 1.185 WHIP, 10.0 strikeouts per 9 innings, and a 0.7 WAR. He appeared in 67 and 68 games in his 2 full seasons with the Houston Astros, as well as 65 games with the Astros and Cleveland Guardians in 2021. For his career, Maton is 17-14 with a 4.28 ERA, 1.326 WHIP, 10.1 strikeouts per 9 innings, and a 0.1 WAR. The 31-year-old righty is now set to join a Mets bullpen that ranks 18th in MLB with a 4.16 ERA. The Rays currently rank 24th with a 4.43 ERA. Rodriguez, who is taking Maton's spot on the roster, is 1-1 with a 2.79 ERA across 9 MLB outings this season. The 27-year-old is also 1-0 with a 1.09 ERA with AAA Durham in 2024. All right. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see what else. Hang on. The Mets also signed Matt Festa. That's crazy, man. I didn't even know that. Yeah, the New York Mets signed right-handed reliever Matt Festa to a minor league contract on Sunday. Festa has spent the season pitching in AAA for the San Diego Padres, but the organization released him last week, likely due to an opt-out clause in his contract. Noted, beloved Italian-American Matt Festa is back home in New York, having signed a minor league deal with the Mets. Festa joins a Mets organization currently that's seemingly always looking for fresh bullpen arms. The 31-year-old will begin his Mets tenure at AAA Syracuse, but has a real chance to reach the majors at some point. New York has one off day, which through June 5th, which already happened, and has not gotten many innings from its starters. The way the season has gone for the Mets, Festa will likely be called up simply to provide a fresh arm. Yes, so Festa was a lifelong Seattle Mariners Mariner prior to this season and has seen time in 4 campaigns. His most significant playing time came in 2022 as he tossed 54 innings across 53 games. Festa produced a great strikeout rate and a solid walk rate while limiting hard contact. Though his ERA 4.17 and ERA plus 89 seems pedestrian, Festa pitched well before a few blow-up outings in September. His ERA on September 7th was 3.27 and went up almost a full run in just a few weeks. Before 2022, Festa struggled with injuries for a few seasons and has pitched more than 31 innings since 2018. It's likely that Festa tired down the stretch and saw his ERA pay the price. Unfortunately, Festa's struggles continued into 2023. He bounced between the majors and minors before the Mariners released him in early August after he suffered an undisclosed injury. Festa didn't sign with the Padres until late January. He likely took the rest of the 2023 season and much of the winter to recover from the injury. San Diego clearly liked what they saw and took a chance on Festa. To his credit, he pitched well in the minors this year. In 16 innings, Festa posted a 4.15 ERA with a 21.6% strikeout rate and a 9.5% walk rate. To be fair, the Padres AAA team, the El Paso Chihuahuas Chihuahuas? Chihuahuas. Whatever that. I don't even. I apologize for butchering this word right here, so forgive me for that. Play in a hitter-friendly environment. It is possible that the righty would have fared better in a more neutral setting. Let me see. He'll have a chance to prove that theory with the Mets, as Syracuse is a more fair environment to play in. For what it's worth, he made a solid first impression on Sunday, tossing 1 1/3 innings with 2 punch-outs and no walks. The Mets signed Festa for organizational depth, but with the current state of the pitching staff, Festa will have a chance to earn a spot as a middle inning reliever. Yeah. We could see that happening. I mean, we could see that happening. You know what I mean? So yeah. What is this? Yeah, I already talked about the snubs. We talked about the Diaz situation, the ejection. He already returned. He made his return after the Subway Series happened. Big Three. We talked about Jeff McNeil. Let me see if there's anything else. If there's anything else I may have missed. Is there anything else I may have missed? No, I already talked about the rumors and stuff. Yo, I cannot stand people, especially with the rumors in the air reports. If you didn't hear from the person's mouth or whatever, don't stop spreading rumors, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because you report something doesn't mean that it's always true. You know what I mean? So there you have it right there, man. There you have it right there. Let me see. Yeah, I will go over the recap of Subway Series and stuff, man. This is quite interesting. Yeah, they won. They won actually. So recently, I did watch the Subway series. So I'm gonna actually get to. Actually, did watch the Subway series and stuff. They did win both of those games. They did win both of those games actually. If you if you will. Yeah. So yeah, so David Peterson took um Luis Severino's place on that Tuesday, and of course they won that one. Yeah, they you know what's funny? They went from 37 to now 45 wins now. So it's crazy, and it's just very crazy though, man. You know what I mean? It's very crazy. Yeah. I'm glad they swept the Yankees, man, because from what I'm hearing, the Yankees are doing terrible at the moment. They're doing terrible at the moment. Oh, another person the Mets signed, Mike Brosell. Okay. The Mets have added veteran utility infielder Mike Brosell. I mean Brosell, excuse me. Hold on a minute here. The hell? Yeah, Mike Brosell on a minor league deal as as per the team's transaction log. Brissell signed with the Kansas City Royals on a minor league deal this offseason, but he was released earlier this month at the going just three for three for tw- 3 for 28 at the plate to start the AAA campaign. The 30-year-old now lands in New York, where he'll look to add to their strong depth. Brissell comes to the organization with some familiarity with the new president of baseball operations, David Stearns, having spent the past 2 seasons coming off the bench for the Milwaukee Brewers. Prior to that, he served as a reserve piece for the Tampa Bay Rays over the first 3 years of his big league career, and he's most known for his go-ahead homer off Aroldis Chapman in the 2020 ALDS. Brosseau's mainly plays second and third base over the past few seasons, but he also has experience at every other infield position except catcher and both corner outfield spots. While he struggled at the plate last season, he has recorded 35 extra base hits and a 790 OPS against left-handed pitching over the course of his 5-year MLB career. Brosseau figures to start his time down in AAA Syracuse before potentially making his way up to the big league level. So remains to be seen. Remains to be seen with that one right there. Now I'm not sure how old he is, so I'm not sure how old he is though. If you get technical, let me see. Let me see something here. Um, okay, Mike Brosseau. How old is he? Let me take a look here. He's 30 years old. Wow, 30 years old. He he just turned 30 this year. Okay. Okay, not bad. Um let me see. Let me take a look to see if I didn't leave anything out. If I didn't leave anything out as far as anything goes. I didn't leave anything out. Um let me see. Let me make sure I didn't me see. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's. Let me see. Let me check something. Let me see. All right. Subway Series versus the Yankees at Citifield Flushing Queens. Yeah, let's do a recap. I'm gonna do a little recap. Let's recap. Let's recap. The Subway Series in Citifield. Um, recap of the Yankees. 1 second. Recap of the Yankees versus Mets 2024 Citi Field. All right, so I'm gonna do a little recap on that one right there. So let's do some recapping because I did watch it right there. All right, let's do a little recap right there. All right, so according to ESPN right here, man. So Francisco Alvarez went 3 for 3 with an early homer and 3 RBIs. Tyrone Taylor added a 3-run drive, and the surging New York Mets routed the New York Yankees 12-2 on Wednesday night for a 2-game Subway Series sweep. Harrison Bader also went deep and delivered an RBI double for the Mets 39-39, who chased rookie Luis Gil 9-3. In the 5th inning, they pounded Yankees pitching for 7 homers, 21 runs, and 24 hits over 2 nights at Citi Field. As a guy that likes to talk a lot of crap, I think it's fun, says shortstop Francisco Lindor, who enjoyed earning city bragging rights for the Mets and their fans. I think it's fun for the barbershop. I think, yeah, I think it's fun for every workplace. With their 15th victory in 19 games, the Mets climbed back to 500 for the first time since they were 18-18, going into a May 10 loss to Atlanta. That's not the mission, but it does feel good that we are on the right track, Mendoza said. It's a beautiful thing when we can all hold each other accountable, and that's what we're doing right now. The struggling Yankees, who led the AL East, have lost 4 consecutive series in 8 of 10 games. You don't like getting your teeth kicked in. It's been a crappy 2 weeks for us, but it's part of it. We know it's coming, manager Aaron Boone said. Adversity's going to hit you. We got hit with a little bit right now. Following an 87-minute rain delay in the 5th, Aaron Judge launched a 2-run homer with the Yankees trailing 7-zip in the 6th. It was his 287 home run, tying Bernie Williams for 7th in franchise history. Judge also joined Mark McGwire 4 times and Ken Griffey Jr. as the only players to reach 30 homers before the Allstar break 3 times. Sean Manad, 5-3, dodged early trouble, dancing around 5 walks by allowing only 2 hits in 5 shutout innings before a sellout crowd of 43,004. He induced 3 double play grounders in the first 4 innings, including 2 from Alex Verdugo before Verdugo snapped an 0-for-22 slump with a single in the 6th. Verdugo bounced into an inning-ending double play after 3 consecutive walks in the 1st. The 2nd night in a row, the Yankees came up empty after loading the bases with less than 2 outs in the first inning. I asked our guys if that was the scouting report, get the bases loaded, because it felt like it was deja vu, Lindor said. But hats off to our pitching staff being able to get out of those jams. Alvarez hit a 2-run homer that made it 3-zip in the third, then added an RBI double in a 4-run fifth, both to the opposite field. He also walked and scored 3 times, finishing a triple short of the cycle of his perfect night at the plate. I like the way I feel right now, the 22-year-old catcher said. Mark Vientos had 2 RBIs, and Lindor doubled his first 2 times up for the Mets, who have homered in 10 straight games. They've scored at least 10 runs 5 times in their past 13 games after doing it just twice in their first 65 games. It's a good feeling now, said rookie manager Carlos Mendoza, who was Boone's bench coach with the Yankees the past 4 seasons. Credit to that group right there. Good players, good coaches, and they are having fun. Adrian Hauser pitched 3 scoreless innings for his first major league save. Hill was charged with 5 runs, 4 hits, and 4 walks in 4 1/3 innings. He's lost 2 consecutive starts, including a huge flop last week against Baltimore after going 9-0 in his previous 11. No one expects it to be easy, Boone said. I know you sailed through the first couple of months, and obviously at a level not foreseen, really. You are going to have bumps along the way. So we'll kind of rally around him and keep up with him getting better. But he'll learn from it and grow from it. The crosstown rivals meet again for 2 more games, July 23rd to the 24th, as I said earlier, at Yankee Stadium. It feels good to be playing good baseball, not just the past 2 nights, but a month, I would say, Lindor said. This is what we expect. Trainer's room. Yankees right-handed pitcher Scott Effross, low back surgery, had his rehab assignment transferred from Class A Tampa Bay to AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Mets right-handed pitcher Drew Smith was placed on the 15-day injured list with a right elbow sprain, and right-handed pitcher Ty Adcock was recalled from AAA Syracuse. Right-handed pitcher Kodai Senga right shoulder capsule strain is scheduled to throw 2 innings of live batting practice against minor leaguers Thursday at Citi Field. And yeah, so up next, Yankees left-handed pitcher Carlos Rodon, 9-4, 3.86 ERA starts Thursday night at last place Toronto against right-handed pitcher Jose Berrios, 6-6, 3.46. That's the ERA in the opener of a 4-game series. Mets following day off. Left-handed pitcher Jose Quintana, 3-5. Actually, yeah, he won another game too. That's like 4 or 5 games already. 4.58 ERA, faces Astros right-handed pitcher Ronel Blanco, 8-2, 2.34 ERA. On Friday night at Citi Field, Houston has won 7 in a row to get back to 500. Okay, so there you have it. That was your recap of the Subway Series at Citi Field, the Yankees versus the Mets, and I think it's time to wrap up here, folks. I think it's time to wrap up here. I'm gonna wrap up right now. I'm gonna wrap up right here. I'm gonna wrap up right here, though. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, we'll wrap up right here, right now, with the section right here, which is stream choices on the go, man. All right, and and I'll remind you folks out there about the home run derby and the All-Star break that's going down next week. I'll remind y'all about that. But in the meantime, we're gonna get into stream choices on the go, man. Let's get to it right here. Let's get to it right here, right now. Let's go. All right. Be sure to follow Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, along with my other podcast shows, and myself on Threads and Instagram. Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, the review show, and of course, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York Avenue podcast. I just dropped episode 339 already. And I had to postpone episode 340, the recording, to tomorrow. Because I wanted to get this out the way as far as the breaking news with the All-Star game lineup. As far as Pete Alonso, the snubs, we talked about that. We talked about every single thing that I just listed in the episode description. All right. And yes, you can also follow me on the gram and on Threads as well, which is same username as well, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Turn on your notifications on the gram so you'll know I'll be on Instagram live recording podcast episodes on a weekly basis. And of course, if you go to my link tree, it's going to say Linktree / Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Pod. All right. I'm gonna go over where you can subscribe, where you can listen, stream, and watch these episodes whatsoever. I'll remind y'all on some sports podcast shows that you can look into in a second. So let's get into it right here. So starting with Odyssey, Audible, Amazon Music, Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podhound, Podopolo, Podorama Podcast, Podorama Podcast, Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Snip, Spotify for podcasters. We're on Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, newly recently added Fountain app, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to music, radio, and podcast episodes for free. You don't need a debit card or credit card to download iHeartRadio or any of these apps whatsoever. All you need to do is go ahead and subscribe on every streaming platform that I just mentioned and every link, including YouTube. Of course, make sure you go ahead and grab that subscribe button on the sports YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And of course, enable notification alerts so you'll be notified on when each episode is going to be recorded, including the date, the day, and the time. And of course, when it'll be posted on YouTube and on our great stuff. And be sure to like, comment on the sports topics in this episode. Tell me how you feel about the rumors of the Pete Alonso trade to the Astros, the rumors of Jose Quintana, Jeff McNeil, and of course the Edwin Diaz ejection, the All-Star break where Pete Alonso is included, and Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor getting snubbed. Yeah, tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel about the sports topics that's being discussed in this episode that I just talked about here. All right. And yes, be sure to listen, stream, watch, and be sure to add the podcast alongside with the notification, so you'll be notified on new episodes that's going to be dropping on a weekly basis. And you can listen to this anytime you want, whether you are anytime you want, whether you are on your way to work, on your way home, or any other destinations whatsoever. And even if you're looking for some relief from a long day of work, whether it's like certain people giving you a hard time, especially knuckleheads, whatever it may be, man. It's, you're looking for something therapeutic to listen to, sports related, um, sports related. You could have listened to any podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this podcast right here. Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And by the way, I want to say, I want to shout out to the listeners out there, and of course, the people on YouTube who helped me reach the second anniversary of the Sports Edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. I appreciate every single one of you for helping me reach that milestone. This is going on. This is going to be his second year. This year is going to be his third year. I will do a separate episode regarding that. So there you have it right there. And also be sure to tell a friend to another friend and spread the word. Share my link tree along with the links to streaming platforms, including YouTube, including your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you're cool with, whatsoever, and along with new people. So that's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Thank you very much for listening to episode 75. I truly appreciate every single one of y'all for actually taking the time to actually listen. And this is titled, hold on a second. Let me just read the title of the episode, man, before I wrap up here. Let me just read the title here. Forgot about that. Hang on a second, folks. Before I wrap up, let me just get there. Let me remind y'all about what's going on with the home run derby and the Allstar break. All right. So the home run derby takes place. The home run derby is going to be airing on ESPN on Monday, coming up on ESPN. Monday at 8 on ESPN. Wait, hold on. Let me look at the I'm gonna look at the time. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look at the time so I can actually give y'all a better idea. I'm gonna give y'all a better idea, man, a better angle in this. So let me just I'm gonna look at the calendar in a sec. I'll look at the calendar in a sec though. Yeah, let me look at the calendar real quick. So hang on one second. Yes, so I was right. So the home run derby is going to be on Monday at 8 on ESPN, and the All-Star break is going to be airing on Tuesday at 8 p.m. on Fox. Check your local listings. All right. So there you have it right there, man. I just wanted to actually include that in there. So yeah, here we are right here. Um yes, so um remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. All you need to do is find your niche, find your skills, find your talent, or what you're good at. Do something that makes you happy on a creative basis, creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. So I want to give y'all some suggestions where you can listen to more of some Mets related stuff. So I want to start off with with you going to check out and subscribing to some podcast channels, starting with Shay and Sons podcast, Ryan Finkelstein's Locked On Mets, Till Mets Do Us Part. And of course, be sure to subscribe to Meet at the Apple, and of course, Future in Flushing. Be sure to be sure to check out Mets Stuff podcast, alongside with Empire State of Baseball. I just started watching their episodes whatsoever. Be sure to check that out. And and um and of course you can check out Wardy NYM. He does the pregame and post-game shows of each Mets game whatsoever. Be sure to subscribe over there as well, and be sure to check out CP's YouTube channel, which is which is which is the New York Knicks, no, New York Mets and Knicks YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out as well. Um, be sure to check that out as well. And let me see. So yes, the name of the episode is "It's Good to Get 2 Years of Success of a Podcast," which is dedicated to this show right here. Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, man. And like I said, man, I really appreciate every single one of y'all who helped me reach the second year anniversary. And we're going to do a feature episode of the third anniversary of this podcast this year. So stay tuned for that one right there. So yeah, if I missed out on any podcast related to the Mets or anything like that, let me see. Oh, here's some more of let me try to double check on damn it. Let me double check on this thing right here. The hell's going on with this shit? I'm trying to think on the top of my head. Yes, believe the Mets. I believe you can tune into that. Be sure to let me try to look for some more Mets related stuff. Let me look for something Mets related stuff right here. Yes, you can also check out Shea Station with Jolly Olive and Jerry Blevins. Um, another show, another podcast you can check out regarding the Mets is let me just make sure I didn't miss out on anything. Oh, wait a minute. The Rico Bronya podcast by Evan Roberts. You can also check that out as well. And if I missed out on any other Mets Weekly, you can check them out as well. You can also check out, let me just take a look and see if I missed out on any other Mets related podcast shows. Forgive me, I'm trying to look through the YouTube channel page. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channels that I just mentioned regarding the Mets and everything else in between. And like I said, I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in, listening, rocking with me, hearing me out on the sports topics that's being discussed in today's episode. I really appreciate y'all, man. And I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and of course your weekend as well. So peace and one love. Let's go Mets. Let's make sure that the Mets continue to be above 500. And to all the people that are New York Mets fanatics out there, along with the 5 boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens, along with Long Island and everywhere else whatsoever. And yeah, peace and one love to every single Met fan out there, all over. Let's go Mets. Good night, everybody.